somebody asked me to make a video about, well, I'll get into that in a moment. But you see, it is a response to a previous video that I made yesterday. I made a video about Nicholas Fuentes, which was also a request. Oh, a little boy that he is. Well, today's requested video is about Russel Brand, who thinks he's Jesus, or at least he dresses like him, yeah. And he also has some very contradicting views. So I'll try and highlight in this video. I could probably talk about him for about an hour, but I'm not going to do it, so don't worry. Though, that's a little bit long. That it is. But before I start, please put the old like button to help the channel, you know, and maybe the little, bell icon just there, because then you get a warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. If you want to support the channel, you've got a Patreon or buy us a copy, and the links are down below in the description. There's also super thanks there as well, memberships and stuff. But you see, Russel Brand. What is special about Russel Brand? Well, let's start with his self-definition.
What happened in your life?
Mental illness.
Yes, we can confirm that. Mental illness. It's not something to joke about, really, to be honest. There's so many people who are struggling to get referred, you know. And, many of these people, especially in the UK, yeah. Oh, actually, also in the United States, 75 million of them plus. They could probably do a bit referred that they could, yeah. And there's not enough doctors for that. No. But anyway, all lobotomies. You know how it goes. But Russel Brand, he's been on a bit of a journey. No, his upbringing, to be honest, wasn't a particularly good. He didn't have a very good childhood, really. He didn't. For start, he was bulimic and what I earned. His father used to get him rent boys and was it rent boys? Oh no, prostitutes. When he was little. Yeah, I say little when he was younger. I don't know how old he was actually, come to that. But it's a lot, yeah, anyway, that's what his pa used to do for him. Who does that? For Christ's sake. I've never done that. Have you ever done that? Leave it in the comments down below for your kids. Strange family, I tell you. Really strange. Now, Russel Brand has also been on a bit of a legal battle at the moment with regards to rape offences, and there's 5 women who have alleged rape, accused him of rape. Now, the actual evidence has been supplied now to the courts about 2 weeks ago, so it wasn't that long ago. So, you know, there's something going to seriously go on there. You know, will he get locked up? Maybe, I don't know. The thing is, though, he resides in the United States at the moment, I believe. I might be wrong on that. Maybe you can tell us. But he's always over there, to be fair. But the thing is, Russel Brand is anti-capitalism, so he tells us. He goes on about the Matrix, they're all controlling us. Now, am I a capitalist? I suppose I am. I've been in business and stuff like that. But I tell you what, the problem I've got with capitalism, it promotes greed. If you're not a greedy person or a greedy company and what have you, and would literally be quite happy to step on other companies' toes or individuals' toes just to get the money, well then, quite frankly, it's immoral. Completely, immoral. And you have to dance around the old moral a pretzel to try and get your head around it, quite frankly. And it's so I believe with capitalism, it's not necessarily capitalism per se, but it's the inherent greed in people. People are inherently greedy. They always want what the other person's got, Keep up with the Joneses and all that, whoever you're in the workforce, what have you, whoever's got that job above you, you want that job. They get paid more money. You'll do whatever you can to get that job. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It's ruthless. Now, Russel Brand will come over has been got to love people. Got to love them, you have hugs and cuddles and all that. And, I don't know, seance or something. Anyway, the thing is, I don't actually believe that Russel Brand actually believes all of this stuff. He's a grifter. That's what I believe, okay? I believe Russel Brand is a grifter. And he swings to wherever he thinks he's going to get enough audience, and where there's audience, there's money. It's always been the case. Bums on seats, you could say. That's what he's after. But actually, he's also after a few bums as well. Yes. He's a self-proclaimed promiscuous individual. He's made that quite clear in the past, but he's also said that all my relationships were consensual, not according to the 5 alleged rape victims. No. He says he's anti-capitalism, blaming capitalism, what have you, for all the ills in the world, and you could do that. Because, like I say, you mix that together with greed, whether it be corporate greed or whether it be individual greed, you're going to have a pretty nasty scenario, and it is just it's not a great mix. No. And that's where capitalism doesn't work, because all it does is just push everybody out and nobody gets a look in. In fact, you just have what we've got at the moment. We've got this small section of the population who has got way too much money. And they just sit on that money, and the money doesn't circulate. So there's no such thing as trickle-down economy, not in reality, no. The only reason why these rich buggers, and to be fair to Russel Brand, he's pointed out loads of times, to be fair, the economy, it goes up and out. Quite often to offshore bank accounts and what have you. Now, the individuals like ourselves at the bottom of the old ladder and what have you, earning a little bit of money, buying this, that, and the other, or getting stuff from, I don't know, Amazon, or you got your Starlink, what have you, or your Tesla motor car, all you're doing is putting the money in the pockets of the richest people in the world. They wouldn't be rich if it wasn't for us down there. In the long term, it doesn't make any sense for the rich to squeeze us as much as they actually do. Because in the day, if we've got no money, we can't actually put it into the system, which then goes straight up to them. But to be cancelling our Netflix and God knows what else. Or your Rumble. Is that owned by Peter Thiel? I think it is, isn't it? Rumble? Maybe, leave in the comments down below. Now, being a promiscuous individual who doesn't mind a bit of porn, for instance, it surprises me that Russel Brand is now endorsing Donald Trump. Capitalism? Well, I'm fairly certain that Donald Trump is a part of the problem there. So everything that Russel Brand is against, he's supporting now. Including Bobby Kennedy. He's a flippin' tin hat wearer, if I have to see one. And his plans to get rid of development of medications and what have you, treatments for cancer, etc. Yes, literally freeze it for 8 years. That's what he's talking about. The man doesn't believe in vaccines. He doesn't believe in this. He don't believe in that. He believes that the polio vaccination has killed more people than it's saved. That usual kind of stuff from these maggots. Yeah. Crazy, crazy people. Are we supposed to listen to people like that who clearly have no idea what they're talking about, but they still spiel it all out? And they get a following. Now, Russel Brand, he sort of flirts about. He hasn't said he's either one thing or another, on the right or the left, or what have you, in the past, right? For the last several years. He hasn't. He's just, just been a horrid individual. For us, really, that's just who he is. He isn't a great person. He can be funny. If you like his kind of humour, Sometimes he's just outright obnoxious. Now he's done quite well for himself. He's through TV and what have you, and films and books he's written, and there's podcasts. Been invited on several shows, including Jordan Peterson, the Canadian geezer who got disbarred. So I just find the whole thing absolutely crazy. Allow me to just sort my camera out. There you go. I froze for a moment. I did. I'm not getting it out, so I'm just going to go with the flow here. So, the individuals he's associated himself with aren't particularly pleasant creatures, no. And he's gone full on MAGA, actually, as Russel Brand. He's done a massive leap to the right, where before he was saying he's not one or the other. The same with his church. He's always said that I'm not, that he's, he hasn't got a particular church. He just follows the Bible and all that sort of stuff, And I think it's a case of it just suits him. He likes it, but he's got such a horrendous attitude, really. I think he believes that everybody should be like him. Everybody should live their lives like him, Maybe he thinks they should all be rapists.
I like to have it off, right? As sort of, thanks. Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's cheer the idea of sex.
He makes it quite clear that he is promiscuous. Okay, I'd say tie a bloody knot in it myself. But there's a stunt that him and another so-called comedian played on Manuel of Faulty Towers. And it was a disgusting thing to do, it really was. And it was all done live on TV and what have you as well. So it's like, it was just wrong. It was just wrong. I know it's a bit, that was funny. Not if you're on the receiving end of it, and it's all public. Because somebody thought it was funny. As in them. I didn't do them any favours because they got checked off the TV for a bit, didn't they? And had to go alone for a bit, So they screwed themselves. And to be, it was disgusting. It was disgusting, really. Let's be honest.
Don't call him Manuel, that's really bad.
Call him Andrew Sachs.
Oh, I apologise.
I said Andrew Sachs.
He's an idiot.
Look, Andrew Sachs, I've got respect
Manuel,
for you and your lineage and progeny. Never let that be questioned.
Don't hint.
I wasn't hinting. Why did that come across as a hint?
Because you know what you're talking about.
Now, when you were
He
doing...
fucked your granddaughter.
Well, he left that on Andrew Sachs's, Manuel's answer phone. That's what we're finding out, It's pretty horrendous. On television. Also at radio, I can't remember now. It's a prank call anyway. I didn't actually watch it, to be honest. I knew about it, but it was pretty gross. And they've called it back. They answered the phone back about 3 or 4 times, And it was just basically digging that hole deeper and deeper and deeper. So they're going to apologise, so to speak, but there wasn't an apology. It was just one way of actually just doubling down on it. The man he's got no morals. He's got no morals. He says he's a religious man, evangelical and all that, but he's not. He's not a religious man. And what is about a religion anyway? They are some of the worst people in society, are those who are that far down the old, almost like conspiracy theory type flat earthers and that kind of individual, no? That's Russel Brand for you, I'm not saying he's a flat earther, but he's a flippin' loon. And people like Donald Trump, for instance, waving his little Bible about. They get the Trump Bible. He's got his own Bible. Just makes more money. And these people are following the right because they know That's where the money is. And even when he was talking on the left and what have you, whether it be about the environment and stuff like that, and the problems in the world and stuff, and about capitalism and stuff, he always flirted. He always threw stuff in that was like a bone for the right wing, well, nutters really, quite frankly. Anyone who voted for someone like Donald Trump, anyone who votes for somebody like Nigel Farage and his Reform UK party, happens to be a limited company, they're having trouble up there. They really are. Maybe they've already had a lobotomy, quite possibly. But either way, it's not a way of having a cohesive society. Driving this wedge down the middle. These people need to be called out immediately, and not just by little people like me, but by big names. You know, maybe use the BBC to do its actual job instead of actually ducking and diving the actual stories themselves. No, I just find it just. I don't know where we're going with all this, to be honest. It's just painful to see, you know. There's just so many people like Russel Brand and others, you know, Russell Brand, Joe Rogan, and all those sort of people. And they're difficult. Now, Joe Rogan always looks like he's sitting on the fence. He's right-wing. Joe Rogan is right-wing. And he always, you know, interviews in a way that, he allows his guests to... He's very clever, don't get me wrong. He's a very good interviewer. But he allows them to do all the talking, and then occasionally he just pipes in occasionally and just keep the, And he talks as though he's ignorant to the topic, and that just gives his guest free reign, and they're quite happy at that. Just blah 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 blah. You know, he's So you got Jordan Peterson, you got Joe Rogan, you got Russell Brand. There's a whole wealth of these people out there, you know, and making huge amounts of money on podcasts and whatever. You're talking about stuff that, quite frankly, is going to make your lives worse. Because people like Donald Trump, for instance, and other right-wing nutcases like Nigel Farage, with his little blooming Farage garages, has screwed the United Kingdom over big time. The United Kingdom is not going to recover from Brexit. It's not going to happen. There's not going to be any trade deals with the United States. It's just not. Nigel Farage just buggered it. Brexit has screwed the country. The whole of the United Kingdom. Northern Ireland, they're still in, really. Well, not quite. They haven't got a full carte blanche deal, have they? No, they just can trade within the EU. But the United Kingdom can't freely trade with Northern Ireland. So all these people are lethal, including Russell Brand. They're all lethal people.
Realistic culture is in itself destroying the principles at a spiritual, human level of community. Do you not think when people see this economic inequality, this disparity, I'm not talking about hating your little rich friend Lola Bell or whoever it was, you went round to see her nanny and were infuriated by it, but thought, oh, well, maybe one day I'll have my own nanny. Do you not think that economic inequality creates in a human being a sense of injustice, of unfairness? Because people, do you know what, Candice? 90% of people that are rich, do you know why they're rich? They was born rich.
Okay, I can tell you something. I think that economic disparity creates that feeling, but a fundamental understanding in economics can help you.
Do you know
conquer
that?
Now that's Candice, right? She's the one who accused Emmanuel Macron's wife as being a man. A man, for Christ's sake. How crazy these people are, you know? I'm sure her pupils can contest that. She's a teacher, you see. Now, a lot of what Russell Brand was saying there, I agree with. Also, his views on pharmaceutical companies regarding getting all that funding to the pandemic from you, taxpayers. The same in the United States and the United Kingdom. Getting all this funding from taxpayers to actually develop their vaccine, and then they make like 100 billion on the vaccine. Just Pfizer. Didn't get any of that back, did you? No. It don't sound quite right to me. If we've invested in something as a country, we should be getting some of that profit back. Should have been a shareholder. But no, they just come up with some idea. They're so desperate they obviously get a vaccine, they'll just do anything. But they could have held some reins. The pharmaceutical companies would have carried on doing it because there's still shitloads of money to be made. Even though the pharmaceutical companies originally told us, oh, well, they're not going to make any money, it's all going to be done at cost. Made 100 billion in profits. It's just nuts. So I agree with Russell Brand on that one. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But he's just gone full on Mad Hatter. You know? He's endorsing
Oh, a surprise call.
Bobby Kennedy.
Hey, Bobby?
Hi, Russell.
Yeah, it's Russell.
Hey.
It's great to speak to you as well. Listen, I just wanted to call you to let you know that I've just been trying to get you some endorsements.
Endorsements? Oh, man, that's so kind of you. Who have you been trying?
Well, I've tried the Clintons, I've tried George Soros, Bill Gates, I tried the Obamas. I thought they might be good, well, at least brand recognition. Listen, no one's interested in backing you, Bobby. Not Newsom, not Soros, none of them, even Klaus Schwab. I mean, I think he said no, I couldn't tell, he had a lot of saliva in his mouth, but...
Russell, that's so kind of you, and I'm so touched that you made that effort, but have you ever looked at any of my social media or read any of my books?
Oh, yeah.
I've sued most of those guys, and I think that's not a list of names that I would expect to endorse me, although I'd be flattered.
But the good news is that I am endorsing you. I mean, I can't vote, obviously, I'm English, I'm unable to vote. But I think what you're probably going to require is for actual American people to get up and vote for you. Bobby, I think the globalists are under me. That's a CIA plane. Bobby, listen.
The globalists. What is Donald Trump if not a globalist with his Trump Tower and his golden bog? Huh? It just doesn't make any sense. You know, remember last time he was in and Trump was going, drain the swamp, drain the swamp. He is the flippin' swamp. She's like flippin' slurry under his armpits with all that bloody spray tan. He always misses his eyeballs, doesn't he? It's kind of painful how stupid these people really are, you know? And they don't even, they don't seem to be able to, explain where they stand. Well, now Russell Brand he's made it quite clear now. He's on the right. He's endorsing Donald Trump. He's endorsing the Republicans, even though he can't vote. You know, and even though he believes in, he says, in the environment, you know.
Opportunity for us to look at corruption in institutions, look at hypocrisy in media, look at a planet that seems to be in pretty serious trouble and see how individually and collectively we can participate in an awakening. So for me, I've done...
In an awakening. You just endorsed Donald Trump. The man who said, I know there's nobody who knows more than me about wind turbines. Nobody. That's a terrible impersonation. Wasn't even an impersonation, but no, there's nobody. See? Called to Donald Trump. The man is, the man he's put in the environment, what have you, is denier, climate denier. We are screwed. Serious, not just in the United States, not just you guys. No, we all are. If we don't take care of the environment, we're screwed, aren't we? It's like shitting on your own doorstep. Doesn't make any sense. Why would you do it? It's slippery and stinky. Kids might fall in it. Oh, Christ. Anyway, I've had enough of him now. I'm done. I'm done with Russell Brand for now. I could talk a load more about him, but I've done, 24 minutes? That's a bit nutty, isn't it? But anyway, he's a total and utter, dinner dumper, all right? He's an arsehole. That's what he is. He's flipping Russel Brand. It's all about Russell's brand. And the people he wants to bring over, because they got the money. Because you're talking about the capitalists. They're the ones with all the bloody money. That's why Labour always had a bit of a trouble regarding getting enough funding. Because, those with all the money, the capitalists, are not the ones who want to fund them. Now, like I said, I don't have a huge problem with capitalism myself, personally. I've got a problem with greed. Unfortunately, capitalism seems to bring all the greed out, you see. Oh! Anyway. If you're a boot that I like, bun, if you like what we do and what have you here, and maybe the old bell icon, then you get a warm fuzzy feeling, there it is, it's it, there it is, yeah. You'll get a warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. And if you want to support the channel, then Patreon buy us a coffee. But we're doing rewilding here in France. We were accused the other day of it being thrown away, but obviously they haven't seen what we've been doing. We've done shitloads. Man, so many flipping bird boxes and what have you in my workshops and that, and we planted loads and loads of trees. Well, I haven't counted recently actually, but it was 550, but it's got to be way over 600 now. We've done another arbour, and we've done some more singular planting as well, and also we've done a willow, willow tunnels. It'll take a long while for them to grow to be, into willow tunnels. We'll twist the wall together and what have you. Try to provide habitats, you see, for little animals and stuff. It's not just about the trees. But first we thought we could do about 1,000 trees. I think it's going to be there 1,500 at least. We'll get on our 2 hectares of land that we've set aside for it. So, it's a nice thing about France, Land is cheap. Really cheap. We already had it anyway. So, anyway, if you've got any ideas or any people you'd like us to make a video about, like Russel Brand. I know what to do, Gates and people like that. Or and maybe XF, what his name is. All these nasty sex offenders. What is it about this flipping party and sex offenders? And now they've got being endorsed by flipping sex offenders. What the heck's going on? Anyway, you tell me, please leave it in the comments down below. Toodaloo!